How is everybody doing? You doing okay? Are you enjoying summertime? I certainly hope so, because wouldn't you say it's going by fast? People keep telling me the older you get, the faster it goes. I must be getting old. No one gets young. You're absolutely right, brother. A number of years ago, I will never forget this, I was visiting with this couple. This man had just been admitted to the hospital, and his wife was sitting by his side. He had been suffering from Alzheimer's disease for a while, and he was suffering from some complications due to Alzheimer's. And his wife was sitting by his side, and she was obviously very distressed. Who wouldn't be? So at one point, I'll never forget asking her, what is the most difficult part of the whole thing for you? And she said to me, he has forgotten the most important things. He has forgotten the most important people. He has forgotten the things and the people that and who really matter. And then she lost it. And who wouldn't? It's a dreadful disease, and I'm sure that so many of you in this church tonight have been touched by it in some way, shape, or form. Who are the things? Who are the people who really matter for you? What are the things in life that matter to you the most? Tonight's readings challenge us to take an inventory of some of those people and some of those things. They really do. Because I know in my own life, I can oftentimes take a nutty and get very, very dramatic over realities that are not the most important things. Realities that do not matter the most. Realities that I would call superficial at best. Sometimes in my own life, I can allow myself to be so focused on the superficial dimension to life that the deeper realities of life get shoved away, pushed to the side, and they don't really belong there. And I think that Jesus tonight is really challenging all of us to take a look at how it is that we do that and why it is that we do that, if in fact we do it at all. Sometimes we even turn to the material realities of our lives, and we think that more and more and more of them will satisfy the inner longings of my being. And that doesn't really happen. More and more and more doesn't always satisfy me, because no matter how much I am given, it is never enough. It's never enough. I think back to an experience that I had when I was in the seminary way back in the summer of 1981. Seems like an eternity ago at this point. I was with 21 of my fellow seminarians from St. John's, and we had taken this trip to Lima in Peru in South America. We were guests of the St. James Society for almost 3 weeks. It was a life-changing experience for me, to say the least, you can well imagine. I saw so many people who literally had nothing. Nothing. But they were among the happiest and most fulfilled people I have ever met in my life. It has been over 44 years since that trip, and I can still picture in my head the faces of little children who were smiling from temple to temple. Some of them didn't even have any teeth, but they were happy as larks. And I'll never forget saying to myself, materially, I have more than they will ever have. But they're happier than I am. They are more at peace than I am. They are seemingly more fulfilled than I am. What's wrong with this picture? There's a lot wrong with that picture, if you ask me. And so, as we think about that in terms of our own lives, we must realize that God has blessed us with so much. And He does not begrudge us anything that we have. We have worked long for it. We have worked hard for it. But we must realize that every single thing that we have is temporary and fleeting. And because of that fact, every single thing that I have is only going to give me a satisfaction that is temporary and fleeting. And God tonight says, don't settle for that because you deserve better than that. Don't settle for what material reality can give you, because material reality doesn't even come close to satisfying the deepest longings of my and our human hearts. Let's not settle for what merely gives us temporary, superficial, and artificial satisfaction. We do deserve better than that. The Lord wants better than that for us, and He came to win better than that for us. And He wants us to be open to the grace of growing even richer in those realities that matter the most to God. He wants us to grow richer in those realities that matter the most to God. Now, tonight's reading does not define what those realities are. What are those realities, those things that matter the most to God? You could probably make a list that would not be incorrect, partial at best, but not incorrect. But the real question is this: after you've made that list, make your own list. What are those realities that matter the most to me? And then compare God's list and compare it to your own list. Are they the same, or are they different?